UFC 316 is this weekend, and I just need to say something right now. I've got the strongest feeling in the world that Sean O'Malley's getting it done. And I think it's going to be via decision, which is even wilder of a take. Because the main consensus about this fight is that Sean O'Malley got dominated. He didn't, I'll get onto that. But we need to talk about Merab. This fucking goblin, yeah? Because people overestimate his skill set. He is not the best bantamweight in the world in terms of skill. Like, let's be real. He robbed Umar. I'm not even a Dagestani glazer, but he robbed Umar, if you look really deep into it. He kind of robbed O'Malley. Kind of. If you really go deep in the details. I understand why the judges scored it that way. You know what I mean? I can understand it. Well, both fights were really close. I wouldn't say robbery for either of them. And then, obviously, Aldo, that was a clear robbery. I don't care what anyone fucking says. Control time means fuck all if you don't do nothing with it. He didn't do anything but knees against the legs. Aldo landed every single shot of significance. Aldo won that fight. I don't give a fuck. But then, obviously, the Peter Yan fight, he just failed endless takedowns, you know. Absolutely typical Merab behaviour. And then you've got the Henry Cejudo fight, which was pretty... It was good. But it wasn't like... People act like he's... like this, like... good everywhere fighter. He's not good everywhere. He has one thing that he does really fucking well. And it's fail endless takedowns in cage hug. You know what I mean? He does nothing else other than that. And it's like... people act like he's like this fucking unbeatable monster. Like, I know the type of fighter that can beat him. It's a Sean O'Malley. It's a Figueiredo. It's a... what's the other guy's name? The chinky guy. Song Yudong. It's a short, powerful guy who I think is the guy to beat him. Obviously, Sean O'Malley's about like fucking 5'10", even though he probably isn't even that. He's probably about 5'9", 5'8". And then looking on his video, his picture, the face off with Vera, he's probably about 5'8". But yeah, I do just think that Merab gets overestimated, and the amount of glazes this man has. He beat a Dagestani, yeah, fair enough. Obviously, it was a close fight. If you're talking to a Dagestani fan, you know what you need to do. Domination, fucking 5-0, absolute zero success for Umar, didn't do a thing, you know what I mean? Domination, all this type of stuff. Throw the words out, just piss them off because we don't like them. But if we need to be reality, when I'm predicting fights, I think fucking Merab's going to lose to Sean O'Malley. I think he's going to lose. And I'm saying it this way because I just think Sean O'Malley isn't that good. He's just cardio. He just shoots takedown. And it gets to a point where it's like, how long is this going to last? He's literally physicality. And I know looking at Sean O'Malley, like, all this type of stuff, you're kind of very skinny for the division. Are you really that big? But one thing needs to be mentioned about Merab is that his chin, like, I made the mistake of this going into the first fight on my TikTok that I've now deleted because that was fucking terrible. Merab isn't chinny. He gets rocked. Yes, he gets rocked, but he doesn't just get knocked out. He isn't chinny. He doesn't get robbled and then like falls over and then rolls across the cage and all this type of stuff. He's genuinely got a good chin. But I think if when you're getting rocked consistently, let's say O'Malley lands a good shot in the first, good shot in the second, good shot in the fourth. Merab takes over in the last end of all them rounds. It's damage-based scoring, and O'Malley wins that. And what's Merab gonna do? Because he's not a finisher. He doesn't go for submissions. He doesn't go for devastating ground and pound. He sort of taps you on the ground, hold submissions if they're there, but nothing to like really finish the fight, like he did it against O'Malley. But let's be real. Again, I rewatched this fight. I rewatched it. First round is close. Second round clear Merab. Third round clear O'Malley. Fourth round clear Merab. Fifth round clear. Clearest round of the fight. Sean O'Malley. The first round could go either way. If you score this either way, I don't care, right? But this needs to be said. It needs to be said. This fight was close, and you've got all these fucking NPCs with zero original thought acting like Sean O'Malley got dominated because they don't like him, let's be real. They don't like him. They really don't. I don't like him either. I think his fight style is probably the best in the division, maybe behind Peter Yan. But they don't like him because he's constantly in our face. It's like, look at this KO, look at this other KO. Oh, we're going to put him on against this top 15 guy. Oh, wait, you beat that top 15 guy right now. You got fucking Peter Yan and you rob him brutally. To be fair, it was actually pretty close. I rewatched that the other day. And it's like, I do think the judges are going to be biased towards O'Malley too. And I've got a feeling people are going to act like this is a robbery when it really isn't. Because Merab will take him on the fence and just knee him in the leg or something. And they'll be like, oh, he did that for 2 minutes. All Sean did was land one good punch. Merab was fine, but it's like it's damage-based score and you don't win holding people against a fence or whatever. And it's like, I rewatched this fight. Again, I'm going to argue O'Malley already won this fight because it's damage-based scoring. The first round, he won it with good straight shots to the body, as shown in this screenshot. I ain't going to screenshot them all because I really can't be fucking arsed. This slideshow took long enough finding the fucking right pictures to fit on it. And then, again, this is the biggest shot of the fucking round. This is in round 1. You can see it here. You can see it right here. Biggest shot of the round. This wins him the round. And as well, he has a nosebleed in this round. That's visual damage. What did Merab do? Oh, he got one takedown, took him down, and held a guillotine, which wasn't even in properly. And people act like this is domination. I feel it's like we're not watching the same fight. It's like you've got like the super hardcore fans and then the casual fans who haven't really read the criteria. They just see someone who looks like they're in a winning position, emoting, and then, yeah, he won. But like in reality, he didn't because it's damage-based scoring. Like if they give that to Sean O'Malley, that's not a robbery. That it really isn't a robbery. But yeah, and then obviously you can go on to the third round. This is the guillotine. Actually, let's just talk about the guillotine. The guillotine. This wasn't in. This was not in. Like it was in, but like this was no Armin Tsarukyan and Charles Oliveira, where Armin Tsarukyan had to chad himself out of the submission. You know what I mean? This wasn't fucking Brian Ortega against Volkanovski back in like 2021. This was a submission which was just there, and you can literally see this fucking EPO injection marks on the back of his fucking back. You know what I mean? This fucking guy. But yeah, and then I'm going to the third round. I mean, O'Malley clearly won this round. The judges scored it this way too, so you can't really even deny it. I know the judges ain't the best way of scoring fights, but like you could tell that bias was already there for O'Malley. So you think if he had like a round 3 and round 1, you know what I mean? And like to be honest, if these rounds are done back to front, so let's say the 5th round is actually the first round, the 4th round is actually the second round, the 3rd round is still the 3rd round, the 2nd round is actually the second round would actually be the 4th round, and then the first round was the 5th round. They would have scored that. They would have scored the first round. If the first round was the 5th round, they would have scored that for O'Malley. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's just bias-based scoring. I don't know. They just want these boring fuckers all over the sport. We like the only caucus fighter we like is Islam, Arman, and I guess Hamza. They're the only 3. And I guess Umar's alright. They're not that bad. It's just these ones that hold you against the cage, hug you on the ground and do fuck all with it, other than these tappy little punches, like to make it look like they're working. Herb fucking Dean should be like, no, stop, get off the fence, get up. You're doing fuck all. You ain't going for submissions. You ain't going for devastating ground and pound. You're doing fuck all. Get up. You're going to fight this man on the feet, and then he's going to get knocked out. Hopefully. But again, I need to talk about even in the 5th round, where O'Malley was landing great fucking teep kicks and visibly hurt him. People trying to act like this round was from Merab. They didn't watch the fight. That's how I know they didn't watch the fight. They're just NPCs. They don't know how. They just literally watch TikTok. They see him like emote and then they're like, "Oh my god, domination!" And it just isn't. It just isn't. I fucking hate these new age MMA fans. They actually really annoy me. And there's so many more examples of that teep kick. Go watch the fight. I've accidentally skipped ahead by one slide. There's so many examples. So the way I think O'Malley wins this fight, I'm going to be honest with you, right? I think what the question we need to ask ourselves is what can Omar, why the fuck is Omar in my head? What can Merab do again in this fight? Nothing. Because if he pressures again, he gets knocked out. He knows that. He's not thick. I mean, he is thick, but like, he's got a good game plan. He's going to bounce around on the outside. I think Sean O'Malley's going to be like, alright, I'm putting you on the back foot this time. And I think he's going to get him on the fence using his teeps. And I think maybe his teeps might open takedown entries. But I feel like, again, with Merab's style of just hold you and not really go for anything devastating in damage, this is a fight for O'Malley to win, and I don't think he KOs Merab. I think Merab's chin is probably one of the better chins in the sport. Yes, he gets rocked. Yes, he gets wobbled. Yes, all this stuff. Yes, he gets cut pretty easily, which is the reason he should have lost to Umar in the third round. First, second, third. I know my shit, I've read the scoring criteria. Let me just keep saying that, yeah. But again, I love shitting on Merab so much. I love it. But again, what can Merab do? What you going to do this time other than fail endless takedowns, actually get him to the ground, hold him there? What you going to do differently this time? Nothing. So this gives Tim Welch, this ginger here with the hands on his head, like his fight is just lost even though he's just got the belt. Right? It gives this ginger the opportunity to watch that fight and watch all of his other fights and be like, right, O'Malley, you're going to do this, that and the other. And I think as well, I've watched him, I think no gooning O'Malley is going to be the new mythical fighter. I think he's locked in for this fight. I saw on the countdown, he's still going for guillotines. He's going for ninja chokes. He's training that stuff. He's training gillies, ninja chokes, all this type of stuff. That is there. I've watched all of Merab's fight. You don't understand. Before I made this video, before I sat down, I watched every single Merab fight, including his first two losses. He got choked out via guillotine in one of those fights, by the way. I'm just saying, just manifesting it. I think there's a higher chance. I won't really know until the first round, but I think there's a higher chance of Sean O'Malley choking out Merab than there is the chance of O'Malley knocking out Merab, and that's a wild take, but if you watch the way Merab shoots, he shoots with his neck there, and I think an experienced submission grappler will be able to choke him. And I ain't saying that fucking Sean O'Malley's like this fucking Sean Brady of MMA. He's not. He isn't. I'm not going to make that mistake, but I watched his grappling match and he has a really good front headlock guillotine, and I think he's going to use that really well against Merab. I think he is. And also, I just want to mention something. I saw something the other day, and it was like predicting all summer events on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok, but when I do, I want to fucking cut my head off because it's that bad. But, oh my god, there's people saying that Merab's going to win via submission. I actually, that gave me a brain hemorrhage. That genuinely gave me brain damage from fucking reading that. Merab via submission. If that actually happens now that I've just said that, because I wasn't going to mention that, I'm really going to, because people don't understand that Merab isn't a fucking submission threat. He just isn't. You know, and now they're going to see him in a submission. They're going to be like, oh my god, this guy's like the Dagestani 2.0, when it just isn't. Australians are the new Dagestani 2.0. You know what I mean? UK fighters are the new Dagestani 2.0. You know what I mean? Not these fucking Georgians. It's Ilia Topuria who moved to Spain. Spain made Ilia Topuria a Chad. Let's be honest. Right. And, where are we up to here? Again, yeah, Sean O'Malley. Again, with Sean O'Malley. I just think he's 10 times the fighter O'Malley is. Merab is. You got to think this time he hasn't got a torn labrum. This time he hasn't got all this shit. He's 10 times the fighter. And it's like, it's damage-based scoring. It's just not good for Merab's style of just hold you there. You don't score criteria until the very last thing. Fuck. You know what I mean? It's like... You know, and a labrum, I'm telling you right now, a labrum is a fucking horrible, horrible injury. A horrible injury. And I think O'Malley's going to look the best he's ever looked in this fight. I think he's going to look a little bit jittery in the first round. Obviously, it's a fight. Yeah, I'm not expecting him to go in there like fucking Alex Pereira, zero nerves or whatever. But I think he's going to win. And you know what? I'm going to go an extent, and I think he's going to win the middle 3 rounds. 2, 3, and 4. Or maybe 2, 3, and yeah, I was going to say 5, but then I realised like Merab looked really good in round 5 against Umar. But there again, Umar broke his hand. And I don't want to make excuses for Umar because I fucking hate Dagestanis, but yeah, like people act like, oh, Merab looked so much better in that fight. Please tell me you fucking think he looked better, and he's still blitzing with his head first. He still fucking fails his endless takedowns. The only place of significance of Merab's improvement is when he was scrambling off of Umar's takedowns, and you really think Sean O'Malley's going to be fucking shooting takedowns? It'd be funny to see, like, because he does have a good blast double leg against Peter Yan. I thought that was sick, you know, but yeah, yeah, and. It needs to be mentioned. He probably I understand why the judges gave it to Merab, but at the same time, it's like I did score the first round for O'Malley, yes, O'Malley, and it's like I got guilt tripped by my mate on call saying it wasn't even close. So I think the problem with O'Malley is because he's constantly pushed in our faces. We don't really want to root for the guy, which I get it. I don't like O'Malley. I need to state this right now because I should have stated at the beginning of the video. He's a disgusting cook. Everything wrong with the modern generation. But I'd rather have this disgusting cook as a champion than fucking Merab emoting instead of finishing a fight. No ground and pound whatsoever. No violence whatsoever. You know, JDM just beat Bilal. You know what I mean? And Bilal, people say Bilal's boring. Have you not watched a Merab fight before Umar? Did you watch the Sean O'Malley fight before that? It was dull on both ends, but at least O'Malley has. Like, that should have been the best version of a Merab, right? No injuries, because he said after the Umar fight that he had so many injuries, this, that, and the other. That should have been the best version of Merab. The best version of Merab. You know what I mean? That should have been the best version of Merab, and he looked boring. It was dull. He didn't do anything of, like, note in that fight other than emotes. Again, a fight where he's injured, he looks better in it. And also, another thing, yeah, Merab broke his toe. And I know that's going to be an excuse for when O'Malley beats him, you know. I'm going to manifest it now. I'm going to manifest it. O'Malley's beating him. We already know this. I've already explained myself. I don't even have to explain anymore. Anyone who says otherwise, you're just delusional, right? O'Malley legitimately can win this fight. I need to, and I can't explain this enough. But again, there's so many points I can make. There's so many points. I think O'Malley's going to gas in this fight too. But again, we showed with Umar, he gassed and he can still keep up with Merab. Because he's that shit. He's not good anyway. If you put him in a striking fight against O'Malley, he'd definitely lose. You put him in a grappling match, he'd get tapped out like 50 million times. O'Malley does have underrated jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? This is no well-rounded Peter Yan, you know what I mean? And it's like people like, oh, well, he dominated Peter Yan. Does that make Merab the most the most skilled fighter? No, it fucking doesn't. Look at the fight. It's like they just look at records and be like, oh, this guy won. But yeah, I'm starting to tanger on now. I'm very much starting to like go over the same points over and over again. So that's usually a sign to end the video. I'm still getting used to this shit. But yeah, comment your opinions, right? Because legitimately, I don't think it's a wild take. I think O'Malley should have probably won the last fight. Umar should have won his last fight. Aldo should have won his fight with Merab. As well as that, I think he's beating him this time via decision. But yeah, yeah, I don't know what needs to be said anymore. Like the video, subscribe. I'm gonna record the 316 full card prediction straight after this, so stay tuned. Yeah,